historically. We are the debris, forgotten faces, never more to be. Instead of legends fighting for something that had no guarantees, living ghosts we chose to live and die as their worker bees. Why didn't we break out from their hide? Why didn't we follow our own sun to another life? Why didn't we scroll over all their flowers? Brothers and sisters, it's okay to be free. Brothers and sisters, it's time to be
Now, before we get started, I have to play the opening of the Chloe Quiz Show, which will be coming tonight if we don't get banned. So this is the Chloe Quiz Show, and tomorrow's subject, open-ended questions, will be about sex robots and other devices. So I'll get Kelly to remove that comment, and then we'll play it. This is the look at that bee. Here we go.
172 A cup, or 172 centimeters A cup. And each brand has a set of heads. They're usually identified either by a name or a number. This one is Stella. So once again, a doll is a construction set. So if I like this body, but I want a different head, I can choose a different one in our catalog from the same brand and just change it over, just like this. And that's it.
It's the quiz show on the Chloe. It's the quiz show on the Chloe. It's the quiz show on the Chloe.
Oh, fuck! Is
Is it only Monday night? It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh, fuck!
Is it only Monday night?
It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh, fuck!
Is it only Monday night?
His internet will lag and his prizes are crap, and I'm pretty sure he never took the fucking jab. But since you're all out of fuel because your government shafted you, where else can you go? So roll up, ladies and gentlemen, and come on down to Cafe Locked Out, because
It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh, fuck!
Is it only Monday night?
come on everybody, sing along!
It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. It's the quiz show on the Clo. Oh, fuck!
Is it really only Monday night?
Yeah, okay. So you can gauge the theme of tomorrow's show. The future is already behind us. When he pulled the head off that sex robot, all I could think, Dr. Oosterhuis, was when we were kids watching Wurzel Gummidge, whoever thought he'd transition into a sex robot?
Yeah, it gives a whole new meaning to giving head.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
What a weird world we live in. What a weird world we live in. And
We are the first generation where the future is behind us.
yes.
That's the truth. Now we've got a guest today. Do you want to introduce her? I'll introduce her.
You introduce Malue.
Okay, this is Malue. I don't know if she still is because we haven't had an update for a while, but she was the leader of the Danish, right? They're from Denmark, the Danish freedom fighters. And so we just like to connect every now and again to see what's happening in Europe, because all we see from Europe is Twitter, and it's not good. So let's
Yes,
bring her on. Here she is.
And Malue was also involved with the North Group, which
Yes, that's
which
right.
is a bit of a sister organization to the Lighthouse Declaration. I
Yeah.
remember you were writing letters to the Prime Minister and other officials in your part of the world. And yes, how's it going?
How's the war
Thank you.
over there?
Thank you, both of you gentlemen. Thank you for having me on. It's so
Oh,
lovely
it's an
to
honor
see
to
you.
have you on, Malue. Honestly,
Thank
it's great.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a while, but we follow each other online the best we can with the censorship and with the hacked accounts and what have we. Yeah, your Facebook account has been hijacked and
Yeah, the Solzhenitsyn restriction, 10 years in a Facebook gulag.
it's just amazing. Just amazing. Well, so in Denmark, it is as in the rest of Europe. We are controlled by European Parliament,
Yeah.
Ursula von der Leyen. So the government in Denmark has turned more and more into just being an administrative office. So they just do what the Ursula is saying and what the rest of the globalist, parasite, psychopathic cult is telling them to do. So, yeah. So I guess it's the same as in Australia and everywhere.
That's how it feels. That's actually how it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
And-
feel that our government is in charge of whatever's happening.
No. And it's unbelievable that not
I know.
more people can have the courage to really acknowledge what is going on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
I would add one word: psychopathic death cult,
Yes.
because they seem to like to destroy things and
Yes.
do things which are the opposite of life affirming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things that
Yeah.
say reduce fertility, cause women to bleed, cause young kids to just die suddenly.
Yeah.
that cause cancers to bloom in at ages that never happened. You know,
Yeah.
they're trying to normalize Malue. They've got it on the newspapers now. Maybe we'll put up some clip. And on the TV, they're talking about how we're seeing cancers now in young people.
Yeah.
You know, dramatic numbers, and they say, "Oh," they bring a doctor on, and the doctor goes, "Whoa." It could be the diet, and it could be something they're smoking, or maybe it's they're not doing enough exercise, and of course they always leave out the synthetic gene injections. The government mandated on the people of the world, but particularly the people in the West.
Yeah, I agree. It's the obvious that are being left out.
Yeah.
The obvious are being left out, and it's a gaslighting, and it's a twisting. It's 180 degrees turned around. And I think we can say the headline of is this death cult, as you call it, Dr. Paul. I agree. They hate humans. They hate everything that we are created to be.
Yes, that's
And
correct.
I was actually the first song that you played before we went on here. There is a beautiful song, and I was like, chill, goosebumps, because there is a line saying it's okay to be free. It's okay to be free. And it just hits my heart when I heard that, because that is how it feels. It's okay to be free. But we have been normalized there's so many information about humans and life and nature and what we are created as, in cooperation with everything else that is created by the same magical, intelligent force that some call God, some call spirit, others call universe, or whatever. We're all created by that. All life is created by that. But we have been trained not to know anything about it. We have been betrayed to not know anything about ourselves, and to go in this loop in a narrative that we need to give our power to somebody else who knows better of us, who knows better of our emotion, our thoughts, our behavior, what's best for us in every aspect of human life. And we just did that. And it still amazes me how people, normal human beings, have come so far away from what is natural. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's not just it's human in general. Yeah. So you see the same in Australia.
Yeah, one of the framings I have, Malue, for what's going on in the world is there is a fight against the natural.
Absolutely.
And they want to see. I when I talk about the COVID shots for the last few years, I don't call them vaccines. I call them synthetic gene products or injections.
They're bioweapons. They're bio and nanotechnology.
They are, but they're definitely not a natural toxin. They're engineered poison. And we have to get back to more natural stuff. And that's one of the nice things is I was such an allopathic doctor. I used all the Rockefeller medicine, nothing but the Rockefeller medicine for food. And it worked well, for emergency care and anesthesia and pain relief. And but we never were. Now, as a result of what's happened, I'm becoming much more aware that there's much in the natural world that we've forgotten, which in many cases is a lot safer than how we're structured to treat.
Yeah. Rockefeller took over natural medicine back in 1930s, along with the Carnegies, and so they have hijacked everything that is natural in medicine.
Yeah,
well, natural, even in our foods.
Yes,
I'm worried that because it was a gene product, because it did have DNA. One of the things is we had multiple law cases around the world, in Australia, about the DNA contamination. We took it to the courts and said, look, We have regulations that should have gone to the Office of the Gene Technology Regulator. It's a gene product. It needs to be licensed and tested. And the judge, Helen Roth, who had previously worked for Pfizer on multiple occasions, just went, no standing, Dr. Finch, you go away. And the babies case, the Australian babies case, there were a number of attempts here to point out the MP Russell Broadbent wrote a letter to our Prime Minister, Albanese. I don't know, is that 2 years ago now, Michael?
It's 2 years ago.
Yeah, easy.
December
Easy.
2 years ago.
It's a bit of a blur.
We wrote, I was one of the co-signatories, saying you have to look at this DNA contamination. And the thing about the DNA contamination, which is unbelievable, and there's recently more information that's gone on to confirm this. The governments like RTGA, or in this case, the Canada Freedom of Information, they didn't know that the SV40 had been hidden from them. They had to. It took people like Kevin McKernan to test it and go, "Holy shit, there's DNA in here, significant amounts of DNA that shouldn't be in here." And then belatedly they come back and they go, yeah, but in the freedom of information, they were shocked. They didn't know. In other words, they were deceived, and we were deceived.
Yeah,
they put this carcinogen in, and this is why at the moment, Malue, it's quite topical, because we've had TV friends on Australian TV going, "Oh, the kids are getting cancer at younger ages, and they're getting rare cancers, and it could be climate change," you know, and it, of course, it drives people like me nuts, because they're lying. It's a lie of omission.
yeah, they're denying the facts.
Yeah, constantly.
They're covering up that they were deceived too. And I think it's an important point, because there are too many people who just shouts out, "Oh, they're all corrupt, and they're all this and that, and they've all been cheating on us, and they've all from the beginning they knew, blah blah blah." And of course, a lot of them did, but there is a lot of the institutions that did not know. You can have. I have a specific example. When we talk about deep state, or as Liz Truss, did you see the interview with the former UK Prime Minister Liz Truss?
Yeah.
She gave an interview recently where she was talking about the deep state.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking deep state, many Danish people, they think, oh, well, okay, it's something that goes on in the States or in the UK. It's nothing to do with Danish, politics, blah, blah, blah. But it has. And an example of that is that there were in 2020, in March 2020, there were a normal pediatric doctor like you, Dr. Paul. He made a study. He was involved in a study, a new one, where they wanted to see which remedies that was already on the market could help the COVID-19 patients in the hospitals. Okay, so they made a study with several remedies, amongst them hydroxychloroquine. But then shortly after, we had a director of the medical establishment here in Denmark. He said, no, you cannot, it's unethical to have these kinds of studies where you don't know what the outcome will bring. It's an experiment. So they took it off. It was off. Okay, so there was a board who were recommending these doctors. Thomas Benfield, he was an infectious medicine guy from the main hospital in Copenhagen. And they were being advised from a board, which I know now, and I did in 2022, that these guys who were advising this board guys, they are involved in the WHO, they're involved in WEF, they're involved in EMA, they're involved in all these. So it's so deep. Of course, these people know. The head of this medical agency in Denmark, he knew, but it doesn't mean that everybody in these institutions, they know the same, because they're built up in blocks. Yeah, so they don't know what each other is doing. Maybe they're wondering, maybe they're, you know, like being skeptical, but if they don't see any proof, they just go along. And now all of a sudden they're complicit.
Good way
And
to
they're-
control them.
Yes, exactly. And that is
Mm.
exactly what you're describing, Paul. You say, well, the establishment, the judge, the system in Australia, they don't want to acknowledge that they made a mistake. They don't want to acknowledge that this is horrible, what's going on.
Yeah, the reason it's top of mind today is I watched an interview with John Bedoin. I hope I pronounced that right. The real CDC author. He's very sensitive, given the material he's done. And in this podcast with Viva Fry, who's an American lawyer, he was talking about he did the stats in the American courts, and when people's rights were being attacked in 2020, there were in the American courts there was a lot of lawsuits, a lot of people challenging the masks and the different mandates and the vaccine mandates, and he documented, because he's an engineer, he did crunched the numbers, and it was like a 65% excess in cases. And so I think it's the same here. So one of the techniques of dealing with the thing is, no, they didn't get more lawyers. They didn't open up more courtrooms. They just got rid of cases. They basically, and this you don't have standing, which happened to all of us. It happened to me too in the courts, was a way of denying access to the higher courts. And so it's front in mind that this is an American statistics, but it happened to me here in Australia, and I bet you some similar version happened in Denmark, because it's a pattern of how they dealt with, they planned how to deal with the tyranny, and how the courts were going to prevent justice, and that's still the case.
Yeah, you lost your license, right, Paul?
Yeah,
He won it back in his pajamas.
Yes, it's true. In 2021, I got lost my license, had an urgent hearing based on my Facebook posts, and they gave me 10 Facebook posts that was supposedly my heresy, and I went to the hearing. I told them all about the good news of early treatment, hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, vitamin D. I was like, do you want the evidence for this? I've got piles of documents supporting the posts that I made. No, they weren't interested in any of the evidence.
No,
it was all like news to them, and they just said, "Well, thank you, suspended," because I spoke against the rollout, and that's all they cared about. Censoring my free speech. But I was grateful, Malue, because it gave me an opportunity to as the first doctor to be suspended. It was a public process. There was a press release. First time I've ever had a press release, not a positive one though. And I put it on the record, and I said, look, all the stuff that people know now, it was a gene therapy, no long-term safety data, could produce cancer, hasn't been tested. It could be integrated in the genes, in the genome. We don't know. We don't know the fertility. None of that has been tested. And I said, thank you, suspended. And then I sued them in the Supreme Court of New South Wales, and they had a change of heart, and they gave me back my license.
Okay.
And then when I wanted to pursue them for the unlawfulness of what they were doing, they said, "Oh, you don't have standing, doctor. We've given you back your license. It's all good now. You can go away. You can't pursue the higher courts to seek a redress from bad laws." So that's
but there is something very profound to understand. If you can say that in English, it's very important to understand. That is that it's always the process that is the punishment. So it doesn't really matter if it turns out 3 or 4 years later, or 1 year later, or yet maybe tomorrow, or whatever, it's the process that is the punishment, and that goes for everything.
So that's happening there in Denmark as well, because that's happening here. We've just had a psychologist or psychiatrist win her registration back after being suspended for 4 years.
Yeah.
And so that's it. But that's 4 years without any pay. I don't know if she's been paid any pay for her life destroyed, reputation destroyed. And now that
Yes.
4 years later, they go, okay, you know.
Yeah, one thing is the payment, that you don't get any payment to earn. You can't earn a living. You can't pay your bills. You might lose everything. But another thing, Michael, is the reputation. It's actually the Fabian Society. They have this tactic that they are using exhaustions of their opponents. It's very clear, and Rupert Lowe was out talking about Fabian societies in the UK. Fabian societies is also in EU. It's a well-known tactic that you exhaust your opponent, and when you do that, they don't have any strength. They don't have any, it doesn't make sense to continue, because you continue to lose everything. Yeah, it doesn't. So there is no meaning to go do that.
Yeah, Dr. Miley Trin over here is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
I literally think they're trying to get her to kill herself. That's what I think is one of their hopes.
Yeah, you're right. One of the ways to do that is that we just comply. Yeah.
Michael, have you frozen, or have I frozen?
You're frozen.
I might just pop out and pop back in. You're frozen for me too.
You're
Okay.
frozen for me too, Michael.
I'm frozen.
Maybe
for
I'm
you.
frozen
Or it might
too.
be me that's frozen.
What happens if we both leave?
Well, we can still hear you, Paul. So just keep going. If you can hear me, that's enough.
But
I'm on Starlink, so I should have excellent. I've got 2 Starlinks now, and it still doesn't get stuff. Yeah.
No, this is something my computer's been doing.
Oh no,
Should I
Paul,
go
you're frozen and I'm frozen. So Malue is the only one that's unfrozen.
Oh, I'm
There you go.
unfrozen. Okay, that's good.
Oh, Paul's gone. We'll leave you on the seat as the
You
only.
leave me on the show alone.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
With
But,
my
you know, there's
Australian
other
friends.
things-
That's nice.
There's other things happening here. When we talk about the leaders, and I'm coming to the absolute realization that the truth is not wanted by a lot of people. And there's a lot of very ordinary people that are quite happy that the government is ignoring everything and everything's ignored. They just want to go on with their lives. And they don't care, or they can accept whether, oh, well, if their family members are injured or killed by the vaccine, or even if they are. You know what I mean? I think long COVID is like a way to have a socially acceptable vaccine injury. I've got long COVID. Oh, you poor thing. I got a vaccine injury. Oh, conspiracy theorist. That's it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's because they're controlled by their emotions. I have summed it up to 3 types of, and it sounds really hard, but I did. I summed it up to 3 types of people. And of course, there are nuances, but if we should just go for the headlines. First category is the ones that will always follow the guidelines. They will always believe that what the government is doing is good. They will always say to us that we are conspiracy theorists and we are crazy and, whatever. We should just be locked up and shut down.
Yeah.
Then group number 2 is a group that are afraid.
Thanks, Valerie.
They're confused. They're confused, and they can't seem to connect the dots. They sense that there is something wrong, but they follow the crowd because that is what. Have to remember that most communication is online, and online you can control all the other algorithms and shadow banning and all of that. So the only narrative that they see is the government narrative, the deep state narrative. So they follow along, but they also look over at group number 3, which is us. Group number 3, they see that we are damaged. They see that we are not complaining like that, complaining and whining, but they see that there are really deep and serious consequences of speaking up. So they look at us saying, hell no, I'm not going that way, because looks like hell.
Yeah.
So what I think is important is that we continue to talk about hope. We've talked about that
Yeah,
before,
continue.
Michael. We've
Yeah.
talked before about having some kind of empowering way of looking at things, and it's hard to do if you need to fake it.
Yeah.
So it turns out, from my perspective, and it has been like that since day one, that this is a spiritual battle. It's a battle on the mind of us too. How can we level up? How can we evolve as the people, the humans that we are? How can we empower ourselves in a natural way so we don't have to fake anything? How can we take off our mask and show the real us? How can we get that connection? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when we
Yeah.
do that
Really inspiration.
when we do that in a strong and loving and caring way, being free, telling our fellow humans it's okay to be free, and that I would rather see the truth of, and can see past all the illusions. I would rather have an open mind and questioning everything than being locked up in fear. So we show the positive side of being critical.
Yeah.
That will empower them, that will inspire them to see and of course we need to be really cautious, psychologically strong and psychologically wise, with the wisdom that we bring forth in the way we are in life, but also the documentations on what is false and what is true. So we help them sow little seeds, and they come up with the solution themselves instead of we. And I've done that several times myself. I think everybody has done that. Every time we have the sense, oh, there's a crack here, we just pour in all the information that we have. But that's absolutely no go, because we're just drowning them in information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is on a level that is much different, and it changes all the time. In the realization of that, we can do better.
Malue, one of the things I think that our tribe, if you like, have in common is that we want to protect the children. We see harm happening to. I see harm happening to children. I see harm happening to pregnant women. I see harm happening to elderly people. I just see harm. When I see these reports of young people, a young nurse. Last week there was a post on ex-Australian, I think 22, 23 years old. And I know as a nurse or a doctor or a healthcare worker now, or even working in a nursing home, you are forced into taking these poisons. And that's what they are, I now see the vaccine schedule as something which is harming our children and needs to be stopped. And we still have an environment where there's coercion. You can't take your child to childcare, so you can't work. So it's called no job, no play. We've got financial incentives. The coercion shouldn't be part of medical treatment. If it's good, if it works, you shouldn't need to be coerced into it.
Exactly.
So freedom is the other thing that unites us. The people in Canberra were there because they were incensed by the mandates, and everyone who came into the camp at Camp Epic, they had big smiles, and everyone was being greeted as a new friend. Hundreds of thousands of them, but every one of them came in, and there was a welcome brother or sister, and we all knew that we were all there. We all were against coercion and mandates. So, and that battle is still ongoing. It's very much ongoing today, and I think that's where the battle is. Bodily autonomy. If we can't say no to something being injected in our bodies, it's sort of worse than slavery. We're already being treated like cattle, and people have forgotten that. So we have to stand in our human rights, and maybe a big part of it is just reminding people. We haven't forgotten that there was a world before this atrocity.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
there is human rights. We have our inalienable rights, and people just forget that.
Yeah. It's not that they've gone away; it's just that people have forgotten.
Yeah, people
and
have forgotten that they have inalienable rights, and it's like it's too difficult, it's too big, it's too much of everything to go against it, because the consequences are so big. And there you have it again. It's the when you're being attacked on something, or when you're being prevented from doing your business or going to work or getting your children in school. We don't have these kind of laws here in Denmark yet. Maybe they will come one day, I don't know. But we do not have the same restrict rules. No jab, no, what did you call it, Paul?
no jab, no play.
No jab, no pay. We don't have that here in Denmark in regards to our children's vaccine schedule. We did during COVID, but they still say that it was your own choice. But if you
say that here too.
if you can mind trick people into believe that they don't have any choice, then people follow along, because there's too many. And then we go back to the thing about how we've been controlled during generations. We've been prohibited to get information about ourselves, how we actually function in our mind, our emotions, and in cooperation with the universe, and our inalienable rights. So there are multiple levels that have been hijacked here, which is why we can make it bigger and bigger and bigger in our conversations about how we are being enslaved and how we are being twisted, and all the psyop and the triple psyops and what have we. Yeah.
I'll tell you, for me, Malue, I'll keep it simpler these days. And I know it sounds like I'm being repetitive, but protect the children.
Yes.
If we're not leaving a better future, for a better world for our kids, we're watching the disintegration of this world, And about a week ago, there was a post. Have I got this queued? Maybe not. There was in Germany, the Robert Koch Institute put out their version of our ATAGI, or the American ACIP committee, has now said that they don't recommend the COVID shots for any healthy person under the age of 75. So they're saying over the age of 75, we recommend the shots. But if you're healthy and you're pregnant, or you're healthy and you're not pregnant, they don't recommend it anymore. So there's already this tension now brewing between the German experts and all the other experts, because in Australia we're still giving these shots to 18-year-olds.
But look again and notice, Dr. Paul, that from the moment that Robert Koch Institute in Germany, they go out with that kind of statement till the day where it's actually set in motion in each country, it can take years. It's the same with take a Palantir. It's a CIA-based company. There are more and more and more in all parliaments, in all states. I know in Denmark for sure they are. It's a CIA. Okay, so why are we? Okay, so let's say that I or whoever else is talking about Palantir, that they really go into the minds of people. So they believe now we are a huge group of people that are well aware that Palantir is in Danish government. From that day until the day where they go out and they're being thrown out, it can take years. So again, that is the punishment. And then maybe it's too late, because For sure, it's too late for the people who took these biological nanotech injections. It's too late for them because they still have spike protein and nano whatever, depending on, of course, which one of the three type of injections that they got. And for them, it's too late. But again, we need to look at it from, or we don't need to, but it's an option. It's an invitation. Everything in life, everything we see and experience is an invitation to have a look at everything that we experience from another perspective, saying, okay, we can either cry or we can laugh. We can either see all the obstacles or we can see all the options. It all depends on us in our way of looking at things.
Yep.
As you said, Dr. Paul, thank God that you had a look into this. Thank God that this happened to you, because otherwise you wouldn't have woken up. Yeah.
No, I mean, I was starting to get a little bit. A few years before COVID, I had the flu shot, and they were when they're doing their reemployment, they seem to care more about what injections you had than anything else in terms of the reemployment process. It was, and then I took the flu shot that year, I think 2018 or 2017, and I was in bed for a week. I couldn't work. It was the sickest I'd been. And then about 3 weeks after that, I got a flu-like illness. That was the worst flu I'd ever had. So when the following year they put up a sign on the hospital change room door that you needed to take the flu shot that year, or you would have to wear a mask when you saw a patient. I did some research. I looked at the efficacy. I looked at the research for masks and the ability of it to prevent flu. There were studies already that showed it didn't work. I looked at the flu shot and the Cochrane review. I went, wow, this is really, really unimpressively useless. How do they get off mandating this with a shot that is so has such pathetic results? And we pushed back and they let go. They didn't, but I started to become already aware of the first taste of the insanity and the tyranny, and of course it just got worse during COVID. But I never thought. I saw dead babies coming in, being rushed into the casualty, and it breaks your heart, and you're trying to resuscitate an already very obviously dead. Well, we're told it's recently died, and it's traumatic for everyone, not least the parents. And never thought to ask what's the vaccine history, but now I think we all have a PhD in like people in our community are aware of the toxicology paper by Neil that they looked up for 5 years, peer reviewed. 75% of the SIDS happened within a week of their child visits. I mean, seriously. I mean, they have to do so much statistical manipulation to smooth out those bumps of the deaths. But I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of it, Malue. This is the problem. It's like I've been bombarded with this wave of suffering and been a witness of it for 5 years, and it's I'm keen for it to see it stop.
Can I show you something, Malue?
Yes.
This was so we met. Paul and I met about 4 years ago. I was doing a podcast from Melbourne with an actor called Damien Richardson, who was quite famous, and he'd been cancelled as well. And we'd heard of this crazy mother who'd been deregistered, the first doctor, and we finally got him on. And he came on and he did this with ivermectin. Now, this is in a time when everyone was terrified. No one was wanting to take it. They were pushing it that it would kill you. If you took too much of it, chances are someone would put a saddle on your back and you could win the Grand National. And
you wouldn't want to advocate for anyone to use horse paste, would you, Doctor?
Just say weight loss. That's the selling thing. Weight loss. So that is ivermectin for the horse thing. He's got injected
Plus,
into
it's
his
the
mouth.
selling thing.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Having the horse
keep
jab.
taking it.
Yeah, that's the horse jab.
It's not a jab. It's not a jab. It's just a cream instead of a tape.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've lost my speaker.
It's a little
So
bit
perhaps-
sweet. It's a little bit sweet.
That is so funny.
I prefer to, look. My horses
Sound.
prefer my horses prefer apple flavor, but I can't for the life of me get apple flavor. But lucky people get apple. But you can put on a slice of that.
Nicole Schilling made a really good comment down here because we're talking about the adverse reactions from the jab. And she said, and it's really true, and I was almost going to say it, but I forgot. And that's, most people don't even want to admit that it's been an adverse reaction from the jab. They'll say, oh, don't be silly. It's just, I'm just giddy or I'm just whatever. It's just the denial is frightening.
I know, but where I'm standing, where I'm sitting up in all these rooms on Clubhouse and other platforms, we've been fighting the FDA approval for the 5 to 11-year-olds.
Yeah.
And there were 300 submissions about 5 days ago. And through social media, we got the word out. We gave them the link to the regulations.gov website. These are the sort of things you can say. It'll take you 2 minutes. You know, this is what you have to do. And we got it from 300 to 84,000.
And so Paul's been on message from the start. So a little while after that, we started doing shows together, but he's never changed. And he hasn't wanted to be right, but he has been right. And it's been devastating to watch because it's like what the guy who invented Telegram said. He said a really profound thing the other day. He said, when the Titanic struck the iceberg, it took hours before people got on the lifeboats.
Yeah.
They just sat there and say, oh, we're unsinkable, everything's fine. And by the time they realized it wasn't, they couldn't reach the lifeboats.
Yeah.
And
what is that about? What is that about? It's all in the mind. They have it again.
People don't want to face problems, even if the problem leads to their death. It happened in the in the ghettos when the Nazis surrounded the Jews in that ghetto. There was Jews escaping. Others refused to leave. They said the Nazis won't kill us, even though they were seeing them killing them in the street.
Yeah.
And it happened in Paris. You know, I interviewed a French resistance fighter the other day, Theus. This beautiful young woman is so powerful. And she said, you know, the French are full of regret and shame that they collaborated with the Nazis. They didn't fight them in this, and it's still there. So it's something in people. If there is one other way out other than conflict, a lot of people will take it.
Yeah.
I think the world, they've scraped back democracy. We don't have democracy anymore.
No.
No one's even noticed they've scraped it away. And the people that I see, a vast majority of people, even if they complain, but a vast majority of people now think and act like serfs. And our prime minister and all the other things, they're lords, princes.
Yeah.
They can do what they want. They can even kill our children. What can I do? And the perfect example of that, the most profound interview I've done in the last few years, was a guy who came to meet me in a caravan park. He had 5 children. 3 of them in their 20s were on pacemakers due to the vaccine. They knew it was the vaccine. He knew it was the vaccine. Different batches, different times. Just the day before I did the interview, his daughter had been told that she's going to have a pacemaker, 24. So this is for all time. He was not angry. I interviewed him for about 30 minutes. I went everywhere looking for a shred of anger. I wanted him to upturn the table. I wanted him to threaten to end someone. Nothing. All he said was, when I kept pushing him, was, oh, well, you just have to live the cards you've been dealt, and we've been dealt jokers. That's it. Now forget all the prime ministers and all, get down to that base. This man is not asking for any change. He's not asking his prime minister to look into it. He's not asking for his minister. He's not going to the police and saying, I think the government's killed my family or killed 3 men. Nothing. The only thing that makes me wonder there's a shred of hope is it was 9 o'clock at night and he drove through the night to record the interview. Yeah. Which makes me think inside him there's a conflict. but something around him, whether he's been affected by the jab or whether it's fear, just something is not right. And people have handed over their power. And I think one of the things that made them hand over their power is that they agreed to get medically raped. They did not want to take this thing, but they did. And I got a feeling, I've never had that happen to me, but I've got a feeling if something like that happens, you might lose some power. I don't know. But
Yeah.
all of us are just scraping for answers, because the big question is, why are people allowing this to happen? They just have to go, no, we're not going into tyranny. They don't have to fight. They don't have to burn cars in the streets. They just have to say no.
Yeah.
And they don't. They don't.
Malue, I've got a very short song for you that's on topic. I saw this the other day.
We have written a song about world leaders.
World leaders.
We don't understand why everybody hates them so much.
Why do you hate them?
Why?
Why?
They have a really hard job.
Very hard.
The burden of the world is upon their shoulders.
All upon their shoulders.
And we believe that just for once we should sing them a song to praise their efforts.
So many efforts.
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 Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Cunts.
That was really good.
That's how we fight. That's how we empower ourselves, you know.
Yes, I think they did a good job too. I agree.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
Malue, look at all the things. I mean, you did the 24-hour thing with Jim. We had the Freedom Train. We had we did a 24-hour before that, which inspired him to do it. We've had numerous famous people over here die of the vaccine. Sam Neill died of the vaccine. Let's be honest. Shane Warne, our greatest cricketer, all these people have died. We've had doctors who were pushing the jab. One especially, I can't remember, Karen Phelps, I think. So she was injured, and she's married to a woman. The woman was severely injured. They came out. You thought, okay, this is going to change everything. Nothing. It's just, you're just looking, and it's, I really think we all say that we've woken up. But I sometimes wonder if the trouble with moving forward is we haven't identified the actual problem we're facing. And the problem we're facing is why so much of humanity is more suicidal than lemmings.
Yeah, I get your point,
sorry.
Michael. And I agree.
How do you go, you know?
But everything that okay, so it's like the old wisdom word or an action is that you plant a seed to become a tree, a big oak tree that you will never live to sit under.
Yeah, that's right.
We have no idea what the effect on what we are doing, what it actually means. I'm a grandmother. And if I did not think that I am doing a positive difference, I would spend the rest of my life bare feet in the fields with my granddaughters. I wouldn't be doing this on a Sunday. I wouldn't be doing this at all.
Same.
So I'm full of hope. I'm full of a deep, deep belief. It's a knowing. I just know that love and light and in the intelligence that everything is created by, that it will overcome. And it's okay to be doubtful. It's okay to have off days. I have them too. And I just go off, I go into nature. I go, sit with a fire and just let my mind run with me, or just do nothing, whatever works for me.
I get stoned.
You get stoned. Okay. I'm not in that group. But when we acknowledge, when we know how we function, when we know our minds, when we know our mental state, when we know our emotion, and we know how we are interpreting, how our minds, the brain, how it's actually functioning, we are interpreting that the interoception. So the interoception is our brain's work of interpretate the emotions and the signals that it gets from the body. If we are unbalanced, if we are tired, or if we are stressed, or if we are in fear, or whatever emotion, our internal system is giving of signals to the brain. The brain can interpret that according to what is happening outside ourselves, and it will, the brain's most beautiful work is to keep us alive. So if I had a negative emotion and I saw you, Michael, I would connect, my brain would connect that to you. So my feelings would be you. So you are a reason to my feelings. Yeah. So all of these details about ourselves, when we know that, we would know how to be in the world. So it's okay to have off days, but it's not okay to give up. In my opinion, it's not okay to give up, but that is what makes sense to me. Would it make sense to you, Michael, to say I'm off, or to you, Dr. Paul, to say I don't want to do this shit anymore, I'm giving up? No, because that's not the core essence of you. And there's a reason why we're here. So that core essence, what makes sense to people? What is the meaning of life? All these bigger questions. Am I happy just because I drive in a fancy car, or I live in a fancy address, or I have fancy clothes, or I have a fancy CV, a job that gives me a lot of money, or whatever? Does it make me happy? We've come to the state in our human life where these are the kind of questions that we need to ask ourselves.
Yes, that's correct.
And,
That's
and
exactly
when
right.
we find what is valuable to me, personal, then I can take actions that are accordingly. I can step into integrity, and that is the way out. As I see it, that is the way out, because then we would say no more. You just get the beep out of here, because I don't want to see you, government, anymore. Don't control me. Don't this and that, and when we come to that state, we will find others, as you mentioned, Dr. Paul, when people gathered in the park and at the camp, they just hugged each other, and that is where we find our fellow humans, equal fellow humans, and we can start build something else that is so much better for our children and our grandchildren.
We thought we were alone. We thought there were hundreds of thousands who, the reason they were so ecstatic was not only did they see that they were not alone, but there were hundreds of thousands of us were drawn to that place and to march on Canberra and annoy the bureaucrats. No end. So that's what the people did believe that it was just them, because that was part of their psychological warfare. No, if you don't believe this, you're a anti-vaxxer, you're a deplorable. You're unacceptable. That's Justin Trudeau's word.
You're a dirty Jew. It's like in pre-war Nazi.
I'm still fighting this war, Malue. Nothing's changed. I picked the hill. I feel like I was a sniper. I was one of the first to see the enemy army coming, and I started shooting shots, and they returned fire. But I don't feel like I'm alone now. I feel like there's, the epic, the hundreds of thousands in Canberra showed that we weren't alone here in Australia. And now there are many, many millions, if not billions of us now.
And isn't it just marvelous? Isn't it just a marvelous thought that we are so many people? We are so many more now than we were yesterday, and the year before now, and the 2 years ago, and so on. We continue to be more. So that means that we are so lucky, that we are so, it's just beyond belief that, one, that we are here now, but two, that we actually are capable of being on the right side. It's just freaking unbelievable. And I am so fucking proud of it. Sorry, my French, but I am. Instead of being,
you're almost required to swear in the cafe.
Right. Europeans swear so well. It's so sexy how Europeans swear.
I'm being yelled at because I swear. I love swearing. So,
swear on the show. Honestly,
Yeah,
if you go on Woody show, you can't swear there. He's got a jar. You got to pay. On this show, we
There's-
swear like crazy. We don't care.
Oh, good. That's good.
There's plenty to swear about. There's
And, you know,
certainly
and we
plenty
have
to
It
meetings.
is.
I meet these grandmothers, you know, and they go, "I've never sworn in my whole life, but I'm so fucking fed up with this government. I swear all the
Yes.
fucking time now."
Yes.
That's what they tell
Yeah.
me. And,
And
like
you know what,
80,
Michael?
90. They've
It's,
never
it's,
sworn
to-
ever, and they
but
swear and
it's
swear and
totally
swear.
okay to be angry. It's
Yeah,
totally okay. And I want to
damn
comment
right.
in regards
They're
to the,
killing
you know,
us.
yeah, they are.
We live in a death camp. Look at this today. Look
Yes.
at this. New Zealand violinist Jenny Banks has died at age 42 after a battle with dementia. Bullshit. 42-year-olds don't die of dementia.
No,
And we
they
got
don't.
young kids. We got young kids with high blood pressure, 11 and 12. They don't know what caused it. It's bullshit. We all know what caused it.
Yeah.
We're living in a death camp.
Yeah.
I wrote a piece the other day, and it starts off, whoever thought we'd reach a point where you could tell people we're living in a death camp, and the correct answer is yup.
Exactly.
That's it.
We
There's
do.
no shock. There's no this. Everyone's adapting to it. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
just how it is. You know. You know.
But
And I think regarding the father that you mentioned earlier with the 3 children out of 5 that were having pacemakers,
Who's frozen?
this numbness,
Okay.
it's the opposite of being angry. And there has been, I'm from 1971. Yeah. So I'm turning 55 this year. When
Are
I
you
was a
kidding?
child, yeah. When I was a child, we didn't do that in my home, but I know that there were a lot of my mates and my school friends and so on. They were taught that when you're angry, go to your room. Go to your room and come out when you can behave. Okay, that's social engineering, social, what do you call it? When you, what's the word for it? When you're socially, your behavior is being steered. Yeah, it's the same they do today. Okay, but that means that the emotion of being angry, that there is something that is unrightful, that's something that is wrong. I feel it as an emotion, and I want to bring it out. I want to talk about that I am angry because of X, Y, Z. It's like not allowed. And I remember in the early days, because I started being pissed off, I was just like, bring it on, you beep. You know, the day when our government closed down the country, there were so many people around me saying, no, take it easy, Malue. Don't be so mad. Don't be so. I was furious, and I've been furious ever since. But I control that fury, that anger, because I don't go out and burn down things. I use the fire to make it, give me heat and have a cup of coffee, that kind of. We can choose the way we use our emotion, so it can be either destructive or constructive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the emotion of being angry, we've just been taught that it's not okay. It's not unacceptable. It's hard for other people. I cannot be near you because you're angry. It makes me hard for me. That's bullshit. It's just utterly bullshit. But again, it's a societal problem. That's the way we have been taught as humans to be controlled. So it's just one thing. Yeah. So when people don't know their emotions, they can easily be controlled.
It's interesting, I wrote a piece the other day over something I've been thinking about a lot. I won't get into it deeply today, but I'll send it to you, Malue.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
It's called Meet My Imperfect God. And
Make
what
my
it's saying,
imperfect God.
meet your imperfect God. And
Got
what the theory is that a perfect God is the God of slaves, because it actually says you can't do anything. Everything's pre-written. A serial killer is no more guilty of his crimes than a baby who just filled its nappy, because everything's pre-written. You're just an actor drifting through a script you can't change.
Like
An
destiny.
imperfect God says that there's no perfection, meaning there's no end destination, meaning that the future is unwritten, and God might be behind you like a wingman or a cheerleader or a coach, but he can't actually, you make the decisions yourself. So what you really have in a universe with an imperfect God is great freedom, because you are the navigator of your own life, because he or she or whatever has given you free will and choice. And
Yes.
you got all these billions of animals and everything making their own choice. You can't possibly, or they can't possibly understand what could happen next, which makes us free, which if we want it, we can empower ourselves by standing up
Yeah.
to whatever's facing our way, because we are it. So
Yeah.
it gives you the incentive to be far more powerful than if you are just trapped by a perfect God who basically says, look, you've been born full of sin, and all that's you've been born full of sin, and don't do anything because Jesus is coming eventually and he'll fix it all up. So just sit there and take whatever shit they
Yeah.
hand out. That's
Yeah.
what we're all leaving. I know this is controversial, it's pissing a lot of people off, but in the theory, it's saying that maybe all these other problems could be fixed if we had a foundation, and the foundation was an imperfect God who wanted to empower human beings and empower them not by giving them gifts, but inspiring to use the gifts they've already been given to actually change the world for the better. And so
Exactly.
it's just trying to, it took a long time to put it up because I was thinking a lot of people are going to come and go, blah. But so far it's just getting people talking.
Yeah.
And
It's not
that's what it
controversial
is.
to me, Michael. I've been talking about this for 30 years.
Yeah, I know, I stole it off you. I meant to
That
tell
is well done. But the more the more the better. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's not, absolutely not controversial in my point of view. The Christianity and religion in general has been hijacked to a certain extent.
Yeah, to control.
In my view, control.
Yeah.
And as I'm saying to the Christian people, or the faith people of faith, in religion wise, yeah. If you believe in a God, I believe in a God, but not in the way that religion has pointed it out or designed it. If you believe in a God, how on earth do you want this God that you believe in to have a saying on earth if it's not through you, as you? And they can't answer that. But religion has hijacked the action in people, because they say let go and let God, and they just believe that Jesus will come or whatever, which sounds very nice. It's the same with QAnon or other psyops. Yeah, it's a mind fuck. It's a trick to get you to slow down. They did it in the 60s with the sex, drug, and rock and roll in the movement that were about. Yeah, so they have. It's just numbing people. That's what it is. So we're paying big time now for people that went before us, who are just allowing themselves to be numbed down. And
Yes.
I'm not allowing that. I don't want to do that. No. Why should I? When I know that we can create something that's so much beautiful, so much more beautiful than this.
Absolutely.
Why
Imagine a
should
world
I?
where all humans had worth. AI
Yes.
just served us, but the core was that all humans had worth. When a
Yes.
child was born, it was seen as a great gift, and stuff.
Absolutely.
And that is what we can achieve. So we haven't really given the other side a greater vision of where we can reach. We're just saying,
Exactly.
don't go that way, don't go that way. So go what way? Oh, we're not sure yet.
So
Where
that's
maybe
the way of
we had
inspiration. Yeah,
some sort of vision,
exactly.
people could start heading there.
Yeah.
Because I read a thing about America, about all the homelessness in America, all the people living in their cars. And this young man said a really profound thing. He said, these people aren't homeless. They're refugees. They're leaving a society that is not conducive to their souls and just living in generally. And they're searching for something else. I've been in my bus now for 4 years, I think, and I'm starting to feel the same way. I really am. It's like out there is some better way to live.
Yes.
And it really is there.
Yeah.
And we're the ones to reach it. I don't believe anyone's coming to save us. I don't believe the upper echelon can save us. I think they're all so deep in the trough of lies that they can't. It has to change from the bottom up. And the other beautiful thing, like I'm in a town today, York, there's a woman here called Monique, and she got onto the council now. She got the mandates or challenged the mandates here. She's an incredibly effective leader, and yet she doesn't rant and rave. She's a tiny little thing, but she set up this hub now, they call it, in an old building she was gifted. They have free food they give away 3 days a week. She
Wow.
told me today 100 will turn up on one day. People are coming around desperate for food, op shops where they can take it. And she's saying that society's going to get tougher and we have to give more. And she's doing it through her action. She's got all these people volunteering for her. We're going to, we've interviewed her a few times, but she's doing it. She's
Yeah.
actually showing the way
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
action and faith.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm seeing. So I'm seeing hope all over the place, but it's on the ground floor in the people who
It
are
is.
making decisions. I'm not going that way. I'm not
Yeah.
going into tyranny. I'm not going to lead my kids into tyranny. I don't know where I'm going yet, but I know where I'm not going. Well, like the
Yeah.
government, what could it be? Vaccines can't be the vaccines. Well, we're thinking, well, it is the fucking vaccines, and we're heading away from them. So there's the crossroads. And I think more and more people around the world are going, yeah, we don't want to go. I'm sick of having cameras in my face and being threatened and frightened by some new virus that, they found on a cat's ass in Brazil. I'm sick of it. I just want to head to somewhere better. And we know it exists because anyone over 40 or 50 has a memory of a time that was far simpler and more human than
Yeah.
where we are now.
Yeah, and it's like a vision. Yeah, because it's not something that we have experienced in our outer life yet,
Yeah.
but it's a sense, and we can have that. Just look at the word inspiring, inspired, inside, yeah, in spirit. Okay, so it's an information that comes with spirit inside of us, that we sense there's something that is driving us. There's something that is there's a power that is leading our way. We just have to follow in faith to ourselves that we are capable of taking one step at a time, no matter where the road leads us. We just sense that I'm going this way today. Maybe tomorrow I will be corrected a little bit. Maybe tomorrow I'll be knocked down, but then I rise up again, and then I'll correct. And it's most people, they want to know what is going on. They want to know, they want to have the sensation that they're in control, that they want to know, okay, tomorrow I'll be at work at 8 and I'll deliver the children at 7 and I will do this at 5 and I'll do this at, whatever. That is the way the brain likes it, because again, the brain's most important single job is to keep us alive. And it wants us to know what is going to happen, which is why if there is 2 dots that the brain cannot connect, then it will come up with an idea how to connect them, even though it's a lie. That's how the brain is working. It's just unbelievable.
We need new stories, basically. So I'm not saying God doesn't exist.
No,
I'm saying my brain is so small. I mean, I never figured out how to program a VHS, and now they're gone. And so I never knew how to do that. And I've got to conceive what a God that created the entire universe, how that actually works, and fit it in this skull. Don't think so. And so we've created stories that fit into our little heads. And those stories are no longer working for us in a positive way. And that's why I think we have a right as a society to redefine a God that actually suits our needs and gives us more hope and a better future than the one
makes
that we
more
went.
sense.
Yeah,
Something
even the
that makes no
Armageddon.
sense.
People have been saying from the beginning, oh, look, this is the Armageddon. This is pestilence. This is that. And I thought, you know what? It sounds like the great end for a Netflix show. But the rich are so powerful now, they can orchestrate it to make it look like Armageddon's happened. Trump goes to war with Iran. They engineered the COVID virus. So these aren't the 4 men of the apocalypse. This is the guy behind the curtain going, here comes the apocalypse. But it's the Wizard of Oz shit. We've been this. And Armageddon itself, this is going to be in so much trouble. Revelations is almost a way of suppressing people. Don't do anything. It's the end of times. Don't. Everyone stays down, because the last thing they want is for us to rise up.
Exactly. They want us to feel hopelessness. They want us to feel that no matter what we do, there we don't have a chance. No matter
That's
what
right.
we do, it won't have any effect. So even the so-called woke people, not wokeism people, but awakening people who
Mm.
calls themselves awake here in Denmark, more and more I hear them, I see them, I read what they're writing on Facebook and other social media. Well, don't bother Malou because it's too late, too little, too blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, go fuck off because I don't want to hear about it. Seriously, if you have that belief, then you go do that. But I'm going to do
Yeah.
something else, and I will not let myself be like it's being injected with an energy that doesn't bring me anywhere. Why should
That's
I?
right.
Why should I
Yeah.
let myself have a belief that won't bring me anywhere near a meaningful, beautiful, loving life? Why
Yeah.
should I? It
I didn't
doesn't
come
make
here to
sense.
give in.
I could make the argument that we are going through Armageddon, or
Yeah.
whatever that
Could
is.
be.
But but years ago when I used to be quite anxious, and I'd be stressed about all the multiple forms of that the end of the world could take. And
Yeah.
then one day I realized I'm going to die. We're all going to die.
That's it.
And you know what? That's an Armageddon that's guaranteed.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
whether it's just me on my own, or whether it's 7 billion of us blow up with a nuclear bomb or a meteor, it's still a shade of one day I'm going to die. And guess what? Once you accept, yes, I'm not here for forever. One day I'm going to die. It's a question of what if Armageddon's 3 days away. I'm not going to be doing much different. I put my stake in the ground, and these are the things that I want to do with what time I have remaining. And it wasn't what I had in mind 5 years ago or 6 years ago. But in many ways, it's better than it's better. No, I like Michael said, I seem to have got a lot right, and that horrifies me because sometimes I feel like the mythical Cassandra, that you get the gift of prophecy, but no one will hear you. But it's not quite true. People are hearing and people are understanding.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. Yeah. So I think we've got to narrow down our priorities, and I think we get things too complex. And the other side is very well organized and very skillful at distracting us. But
Yes, absolutely.
and that's why I think we just have to keep coming back to the. If my last days on earth are here to protect the children and mothers and the rest of us, that's as good as it gets. That's as good as it gets, and that was a gift of the struggle. And so yeah, no regrets. If the world doesn't end in 4 days, I'll be fine. If it lasts for another 4 millennia, that'll be great too. But it's a question of how do we live between now and then.
Everything is a matter of perspective. Everything is a matter of perspective. What lenses do you from which lenses do you view the world? How come some people are so depressed? It's the lens. When you look at it from the other side, it looks totally different. So it's a way of thinking. Okay, who taught us how to think? Like in a dramatic way? Well, it is the deep state. It has been going on for so many decades. Thousands of years. And they started in school. You talked about earlier in regards to medicine. We have it in the entire university system, the school system. Everywhere we have in a society that humans are being manipulated to believe something restricted in a box. All of us. And it doesn't matter if you're in Australia or in Denmark or in Greenland or in the States or in Portugal or whatever. We are all in the same hysterical, how can I describe that in English? It's like an underestimating. Can you say it like that in English? We have been dumbed down not to know anything about ourselves, not to believe anything about ourselves, and it's cold facts how our
Yeah.
brain is working. Do you know Dr. Michael Nels from Germany? Yeah, I just love Dr. Nels because he's so factual, straightforward, talking about hippocampus in the brain, how it has been attacked with spike protein that doesn't, it makes a cytokine storm that attacks the mental immune system. So people have now lost the ability, or it has actually been shut down, the ability of creating new neural cells. If you don't have new neural cells in hippocampus, then curiosity has been closed down. Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Wonder what.
How do you spell his name?
His name is Dr. Michael Nels.
Yeah, he has a book called The Indoctrinated Mind.
The Indoctrinated Brain. Yes. He has been on Tucker Carlson. He's been on.
Never sleep in slumber with us.
He's been on several podcasts. He is so brilliant. It's so brilliant because it makes us okay. Now we can connect those dots. Why don't the jabbed? Why don't they ask any questions? Why don't they go out in rage like the father you mentioned, Michael?
Yeah.
Why don't they ask questions? Why don't they say, you killed my children, or you did this, or this is,
or what's in it? What did you put in me?
What did you put in me? Why was I supposed to be forced to take this? Why was I coerced to take something that is an experiment? And you stood up there saying it's safe and effective. How the fuck did you know that? There was no studies. And everything that we said from the beginning, we have now documented that it's true. So I wouldn't mind. I would rather not be correct, because truth is not a question of being right. Truth is a matter of the truth. Yeah. So being open-minded, how do we do that? We inspire each other that it's okay to be mistaken, to be wrong. It's totally fine. In my community, where the people that I talk to, I go say, well, I guess I was wrong about that. Or they say to me, oh, Malue, maybe you should look at it from another angle, because then it looks like this and this. And I go, oh, yeah, that's true. Let me have another look, So we inspire each other. That is what talking, communication.
The science is never settled.
No, the science is never settled.
You constantly have to question it. If it's settled, it's not science. It's
exactly.
Exactly.
It's ideology or big pharma copy.
Yeah, but again, it's a process that is the punishment. And whoever deep state, globalist, psychopathic, parasitic death cult, whoever they are, they do hate everything about life. They hate everything that makes us humans. They hate our reproduction system. They hate everything about us, our creativity, our humor, our everything. They hate us. They simply hate us. But people, normal human beings in general, they don't feel this kind of hate. They don't know this kind of hate in themselves, because they were told when they were children, you are angry now, you're jealous, go into your room, be ashamed of yourself, like the church has been doing. Shame on you for feeling or doing this and that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we don't know these darkness, this dark side of us, this unacceptable emotions that we too can feel. I fucking want to kill him, or I want to, whatever. It's not the same that we're going to do it. Yeah. But emotions. So we do not believe that there are evil out there. We do not believe that there are evil in other people, because we have suppressed our own ability to feel evil emotions. So
powerful stuff.
It is a battle on the mind, and it is a spiritual battle. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I believe in evil now more than when I was very young. I mean, that's part of the process of what's happened the last few years.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're acclimatizing yourself to the idea that, so when the Epstein files came out, that was unbelievably horrific. and yet somehow I don't know how we take another step. I don't know how we get through a day in Parliament or after all this has been revealed. Getting back to the anger, I think Ben Clifton commented in here, anger is an energy and it needs to be channeled properly. And I think that's the challenge. I noticed that in America now, they've discovered that they've got these flock cameras, surveillance cameras going up everywhere in America. And so now they too have got a bit of an issue with angle grinder damage. People are coming in and chopping it. So not that we recommend this behavior, but you can see that people are taking are pushing back against the idea of you are going to be completely surveilled 24 hours, that there's no expectation of privacy. Only the pedophile elites, satanic elites, they get privacy, but the rest of us, we're like prisoners, because that's what it's like in prison. In a prison, you're observed 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how they designed the prisons.
Excellent, Paul.
And this digital, what was that, Mark?
Just excellent point.
Yeah, so we are building a digital prison, and the flock cameras and all that is a big part of it. Palantir and their drones.
Exactly. Palantir was also in the Epstein files. Yeah.
Yeah, we're moving quite fast because I think the trigger will be something like a cyber attack or a war or more war or economic collapse, and then they say, sorry, your money, the banks are closed, but when you'll get some of your money back, but you just have to put in your digital ID if you want to access it. And then you'll be in this new money, which is complete surveillance and control. And I think it's close. I feel I watch the markets and the economy quite closely, and I don't think we're angry enough.
I agree.
But
we haven't been angry enough.
That's the big question, Malue. The fact that we're not angry enough, to me, what I thought humanity was, humanity is not reacting the way I thought it would. Once it found out its children were being killed, its parents were being killed, its partners. In Australia, we are broke. We are sitting on all this mineral wealth. The government's just giving it away, and there's still not enough anger. They're flooding us with migrants. We've got 2 million more migrants coming in. There's no jobs. There's no houses. The roads need fixing. The hospitals can't cope. They're bringing 2 million more in. They don't care. There's some anger, but not enough anger, and it's baffling. People just walk around as if everything's fine. It's like you're caught between two nightmares: a nightmare of what's actually happening, and the nightmare of actually watching people walking around like they're in a scene from The Sound of Music before the Nazis turned up. It's just you're just baffled all the time. You know, it's just staggering.
Not like the doctors who are baffled with all the banknotes.
The doctors, we don't know what's causing it. There's stuff like this. We've been setting up things like here. We're trying to get our doctors together, called HIP doctors or Hippocratic doctors who refuse to betray
Step away from the Hippocratic oath. Yes.
So we've got that, and we thought if that could take off, we're talking to a few other doctors around the world. Maybe all the doctors that did it around the world could come under that, which would be something to be, something to live up to. Join that band. And same for nurses and psychiatrists and stuff. They're Hippocratics. It means you are something. You want to be in this thing, you have to live up to the Hippocratic oath, no matter what opera does.
Yeah.
But look, apart from what's happening, I don't actually know anymore what's happening. I've given up trying to understand. I know something's happening. Is it driven by this small group? Is it organically happening because this is just what happens to humans? I don't know. It's are we two different species of humans? One that just it just sees things differently than us. I don't know. All I know is I feel in my heart and soul that we're heading somewhere bleak, and you
What does that
have
mean, bleak? What does that mean,
bleak.
Michael?
What's the word for bleak, Paul? Somewhere not
It's gonna get
conducive to our souls.
it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yes.
Bleak is like winter, worse
Yeah.
and dark,
Yes.
and
Got it.
we don't have to go there. We just don't have to go there. We have everything we need to go another way, and so I think that's the big problem we have to face now. Why don't people? Maybe why don't they care? Why won't they take just a step up? They don't have to go to Parliament and burn Parliament down. They just have to do something. Start using cash. Start just small, just something that empowers humanity. Start saying no. Start learning how to say no. Sit in front of a mirror and go, no, no, and just learn how to say it so you get some power back. And basically, pick up the responsibility of your own power. You haven't been sent here to be a slave. So why are you enslaving yourself and enslaving other generations?
It
Why do
makes
that?
how do you make a path, Michael? How do you make a path? You make a path by walking it. Yeah. And it's not only a neurological thing that, for instance, if I had a blood clot in my brain tomorrow, then the neural system in that pathway that they're connected, it will break. Okay, so now we have to fight really fast and step in immediately and start training the brain to make new neurological pathways. It's the same with behavior. It's just, with or what you call it when you say it's like you do something as you just do without recognizing or realizing why you do. It's a habit, yeah. So you make habits by just doing it. And if we look at it from a helicopter perspective, we have the human family who by habit has been walking a path in the wrong direction. Okay, so how do we change that? We do it one step at a time, one person, one human being at a time. And the only thing that we have an access to controlling is ourselves. But if people don't know, and they don't, that they can actually know themselves, they can control their emotion, they can learn to step out of a trauma, they can learn to step out of a belief that is dumbing them down, or a belief that is not empowering them, or whatever, all these things that all of us are filled with. I know, because I'm a trauma healing therapist. And there's so many people that don't know, one, the power that they have, that they are cooperating with the universe 24/7, 365 days a year. They do it without even knowing it. That's why that means that it's the subconscious, the unconscious behavior that is actually creating our life. Okay, wow, what a marvelous thing to know, that we can turn around and go the other way. But we need to recognize, we need to know that. So we need to realize what we are, not who we are in our clothes. And I am Malue, and I'm wearing a white blouse, and I'm sitting here with Dr. Paul and Michael, my good friends from Australia. I live in this and this. No, what am I? I am a soul. I am a beautiful creature that is just beyond belief, created by an intelligent force that has created all of us, every life. Even though we don't give it energy, we breathe every day, our hair grows, our nails are growing, the trees in the forest, they get leaves on them every spring. Just, like it just happens, that is that kind of life force. If we get to know that, it will make totally sense to us why we should turn around. Because then in that second, we would know that we can create something else. But I do believe that we need to walk this path. I do believe that even though we are 5 minutes to 12, it is absolutely necessary for humanity to walk that way, to know the pain themselves, to understand what it means to be. Is this of value to me? Because it is on the flip points, on the, you know, when it breaks, when we crack, that is where the light comes in. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is a really when we see it from that perspective, then when we know that everything is just an illusion, then it really doesn't. It's not that it doesn't matter what happens, because of course it does, but we are not affected of it in the same way, because we know we are not this flesh and blood. We are not our mind. We are not our thoughts. We are not our emotions. So we can step out of it. We can tap out of it and be present in life right now, in another way where it doesn't bring us down, but where we say, yeah, bring it on, life. Let's do this. Let's create something that's so much more beautiful. It's
Absolutely.
just unbelievable. So beautiful. We can make life unbelievable.
I
love it.
think
It's beautiful. Thank you.
even though sometimes I say these really dark things like, oh, maybe things are collapsing, and I don't actually see that as a negative thing if it happens, because I think there's so much rot in our structure. The way we live isn't the optimal way for human beings.
Exactly.
We live. We're heading in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So any sort of major financial event or big change in society is going to be painful and disruptive, but it's the opportunity to rebuild in a way that is sane and conducive to human flourishing, and that's why I don't put a bag over my head, because I'm thinking, yeah, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better, but from rock bottom, when the addict hits rock bottom and has lost everything and is in the gutter with vomit on them, and they say, I've got to make a change. This is not working. And I think that this is what's happening for our societies writ large. We're all going for a global societal in the gutter with vomit, to get up, pick ourselves up, and go, okay, we have to do better, and that's what
I just love the story about Lazarus. I have never read the Bible in full, but I have a dear friend who reminded me years ago about the story about Lazarus from the Bible. Lazarus was sick, and his sisters went to Jesus and said, Jesus will come and heal our brother. And Jesus said, yeah, sure, I'll come. And a couple of days later, he still hadn't arrived, and the sisters went to Jesus again, and she did it 3 times. And then finally, Jesus came to see Lazarus, and then he was dead. And the sisters were crying, and Jesus said to the sisters, bring me new clothes, bring me new, how do you say that in English, garment? Do you say, like, it's not clothes like we wear, but it's just, like a big thing, one big piece?
Shroud or something.
Straddle. You say straddle?
Shroud or something. I think.
Shroud. That's like, sometimes they bury people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so bring me one of those so I can dress Lazarus in and remove the stone from the grave. And they were stunned. They were like, no, you can't do that. And Jesus did it, or somebody else. I can't remember the story in details like that. But eventually Jesus got into Lazarus, and he put him in other clothes. And it was like he went out, he went alive. He brought life into Lazarus again by giving him this nursing and the love and the caring and the empathy, all the beautiful things that we as humans are capable of doing. And that is what we do when we find somebody in the gutter. I have been there too. I was lifted up by friends. I'm all emotional now because it's so beautiful when you experience that you have actually loving souls around you, that you are so lucky to and so gifted that you can call them friends. How big a blessing is that? You can call people friends that are actually doing that to you. They're putting you in other clothes like Jesus did to Lazarus, and I was alive again. Yeah, we do that to each other. We bring it paid forward. We do that to each other when we find somebody who is in the gutter, because all of this has struck them. All of this has hit them to the ground. But again, it's an example, not just for people themselves, but also for others who are watching, saying, we cannot have a society where we are supposed to be the most brilliant creature on earth, and then we are doing this. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
We need to go all the way out there to see how we treat the animals and the forest and nature in general, how we treat the fish in the seas and all life. It's unbelievably evil what we are capable of doing, and we think it's good. But when we understand that we cannot use anything that we do not know that we have, we cannot use any power that we do not realize that we are, then we become, okay, I want to know more about myself. It's not about the digging in your own stomach. It's not about the ego or being hybris. It's not at all, because it comes along with humility, and this absolutely how do you say that, basic thought and idea, and knowing that I know absolutely nothing. I know zero. That's why I need to be humble, and I need to listen to the people that went before me, the ones that I stand on the shoulders of, not just my great grandparents, but also Dr. Paul. You're a doctor. I'm humble because you're a doctor. I know nothing about that. Please teach me. Please, that whatever we know, we are humble and say to the people we meet that know something that we do not know, instead of saying, well, you know something, you think you're too smart, and that because we realize that there is something here we don't know. That's nature doesn't do that. When there is a branch on a tree, let's see a branch above it that is longer and higher up, the branch go, oh, that's possible. It's also possible for me to go up there. So I want to grow. Yeah. But that's not what humans are doing. Humans are saying, oh, you think you're so smart, Dr. Paul. Let me dumb you down because you are not supposed to believe that you are anything more than me. What the fuck are we doing? It's crazy. And that is something that we need to realize about ourselves.
They don't have to do much work to dumb me down, Malue. I think it happens spontaneously.
Yeah, we can all be hit by something, every one of us.
I think that's beautiful what you're saying, Malue. This is what we have to do. Why are we
Yeah.
here? Even Yuval Harari said that. I mean, he's on the other side. Even he said humanity's now been asked the really tough questions that philosophers have been pondering for millennia. This is it. Do we want to be humans moving forward, or do we want to be whatever they're changing us into?
Yeah.
This is
I
where we're at.
I'm choosing being human with all it takes.
I told Michael I watched a sci-fi show. I don't normally watch shows on thing, but it was called Pluribus. I don't know if anyone's watched it on Apple TV, and I just loved the plot because it was all about. It had aliens, it had RNA, it had all of humanity. The plot goes became synced. Like every human became connected through this RNA, alien RNA that came from a signal from space. And in some ways, it's the collective utopia.
Mm.
And I can see it, but people lost all their individuality. And there were 7 people on the whole planet, or was it 12 people or 13, who weren't affected by the alien RNA, and they were still individuals. And the tension between this one single-minded collective human versus these several individuals. I think that's a big thing, because people get lost. They think there's left and there's right and there's this and there's that. And it really, I think the real battle we're facing in this moment in time is, the rights of the individual versus the rights of the collective. And COVID was just another example of the collectivists saying, we know what's right for you. You do it for the greater good.
Yeah.
But that tension hasn't been resolved. And America and the West started on the basis of individual rights and freedoms. And we've gone far too far into the collective side. And that's, I'd be interested if anyone else has watched it to see, because I think
I thought I'd start watching it, actually.
I think it's fun. But because in some ways, in this collectivist vision in the show, everyone knew everyone else's memories and emotions, and in some ways it was beautiful. You could see it was alluring. They were efficient, they were ethical. It was almost like a utopia, except that they'd lost individual ability to act. And so anyway, I float that out there because I think I'm a great fan of Edward G. Griffin, who wrote The Creature of Jekyll Island, and he taught us that, we're using the wrong labels. We left, right, communist, Nazi, whatever, and really it's just, do you stand for individual rights?
Yes. Do you stand for being natural human? Do you stand for the inalienable rights by natural law given by the creator of every life, every life?
Yeah.
Why should we give that away just because the world now doesn't hand it over to us freely? Why should we give it away just because we are fighting for it? Why should we stop? Why should we ever stop? It's just, I can't get that in my mind. Why are people stopping?
Yeah.
Of course, it's an incentive for me to do what I do every day, from the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed and sleep at night. It's my grandchildren and my children. But even though in the case that I had a life where I didn't have neither or, I would still do it because it's this feeling of being humiliated. It's so, how do you say the opposite of being something that is filled with dignity? How do you call that? The opposite of being
ashamed?
What?
Ashamed.
No. When somebody's treating you with dignity, what is the opposite of that? You're being treated not with dignity. Do you have a word for that?
Disrespect.
Disrespect. Thank you. Yes, it's disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. And of course, if we as humans in general have learned that we don't have any worth, we need to follow what everybody else is doing, otherwise we will get in trouble. We need to sit still on the chair in school and do what one person is saying, no matter if our energy is for something else. The difference of children, especially with the boys. What on earth are we doing putting little children in school from they're 6 years old, telling them to sit still 4, 5, 6 hours every fucking day? How idiotic is it? And there's so many of these types of examples. It's an indoctrination that you don't matter that much. So you need to behave and be put in a box where you just walk in the same line as everybody else because you don't matter as an individual. And it's a lie. It's such a lie.
Do you know, Malue, if they could, I've known for years that they can grow other mammals in artificial wombs. I remember seeing a calf in a big plastic bag, years ago. So if they could ever, and there are people who are trying to, proposing that you can incubate humans.
You do that with humans too. You do that with.
My point is, if they can do that, I think technically they can. I bet you they'll start programming that human before it's even one cell large. And then when it's even clumps of cells, the programming will start. At the moment, they have to wait until you're born to start programming, preschool and then primary school. But I think they honestly want to be able to program us from before birth. If they,
I think it's worse than that. I think it's even worse than that, Dr. Paul. Can you imagine the difference between a newborn baby that has grown for 9 months in the womb of a mother with heartbeat, with the sound of her voice, with different types of food that is being fed with through this core? I don't remember the name of the,
umbilical cord.
Exactly. And all the surrounding noises and every movement and everything, the history of the mother. Can you imagine the difference of a baby being born like that in a natural way from a natural, normal human being versus an artificial womb where it's cold and its heartbeat the same way, no different, the temperature is the same, no movement, no fucking nothing. There is nothing. There's no soul in there, right? So then you create the artificial humans as the transhumanistic ideology actually wants. Now we see, speaking of the video that you showed in the beginning, this music thing, you can have all kinds of robotic, AI, whatever, artificial, whatever. It's the artificial human versus the natural human. So it is an attack on us as humans. Absolutely, because they hate that we have this life force that we haven't been told anything about through generations. Somebody like me who has been I've been making workshops and lectures through my therapy. I've been talking about this since I was a little child, not even knowing what the fuck I was talking about. I just had this. There's no religion. It's more than that. There's something else and working my way up through my life and trying to connect the dots. And I'm not done, because if I was so perfect, I wouldn't have any fucking idea why I should be here. Yeah. So we are all on the work. We are all evolving. We are all in progress and getting wiser with the connection with each other and the connection to ourselves and being honest, being fucking honest, saying, oh, that was dumb, but up again you go and now you're wiser. Why should I be, all of that. This incredibly intelligent life force that has created us. That is what they hate. That is what they want to destroy. In all levels, in all ways they can. And they don't give a shit about what we think about them. They don't. They don't care. So we need to change one step at a time, one human at a time, by inspiring them, as you two gentlemen are doing, and I hopefully are doing, everybody else who's doing some. Let's inspire each other. Let's show with our actions how we can be the best version of ourselves with this marvelous life that we so luckily, so blessed that we are here now, even though it's a mess, but we're here for a reason. I want to clean this mess up. That's what I'm trying to do. And I will never stop, because I have children. I have the and it doesn't make sense that I didn't do it, And then, I could go on for hours. Sorry.
No,
There's
get it.
all kinds of reasons why
I
we
get it.
should.
Good.
one of the
Yeah.
things during COVID was that I realized that I couldn't protect my kids.
Yeah.
That was
Um,
hard, man.
And I couldn't even help some of the people closest to me. And I had to let go. But I had to let go of that sense of control. But I realized that the only way I could stop it is if everybody. It's like Klaus Schwab. He said, "No one will be safe until everybody is safe." Well, he was right. In that sense, that until the tyranny is conquered, until you know that your kid can go to school without having some van come and inject them with genetic therapy, you have to fix it for all the kids, not just your own kids. So it's universal responsibility came to me because that's the only way I can protect my own kids. That's all any of us can do to protect our kids. We have to overturn this danger, this crazy direction that mankind seems to be going on.
Yeah, and I'm, getting emotional now because I feel the pain that you're feeling, Paul, and it's just unbelievable. So much sorrow that so many people are burying. Like, I should be embarrassed now of being touched. No, I'm not. I'm so glad that I feel this emotion because it tells me that I'm still connected to something that is absolutely real.
Yes.
But again, why should we not show our emotions? Because that's the part of being human, to feel compassion and feel empathy. But I know a lady who her husband died recently, and shortly after I met her and I gave her a big hug. I just knew from others because I'm not that close to her, and I saw her from a distance and I stopped and I went over to her and just gave her a hug, and she started crying and said sorry. And I was like, why are you saying sorry for crying? Your husband just died. Why should we say? And again, it's this social construction that it's not okay to be humans. What the fuck? That's what we are. Yeah, we
white. It's not okay to be white. There's something wrong with you. You're white.
Yeah.
I had an argument with an Aboriginal man on the interview the other day, or debate, and I was saying, in this country, you can be a proud black man, but if I say I'm a proud white man, it's racist.
Yeah.
And yet, if I'm not proud, then I shame all the white people that have created me, who've gone through all manner of suffering and everything. So, fuck you. I'm going to be a proud white person. Doesn't mean that you can't be proud too, but I'm sick of the shame.
Yeah.
But
it really doesn't matter the color of the skin. I know you know that. But another argument
over here, there is a war on white people. In this country, there's a war on white people. If
we have the same in Denmark.
So we have to fight back against that.
Yeah.
So at the moment,
Absolutely.
no, it doesn't really matter in the long run because all our blood is red. But at the moment, if we don't defend the white race, we will vanish.
I know, Michael, but my point is, as we were talking about earlier, so we matter. Everybody matters.
Yeah,
all life matters. Okay, so they made Black Lives Matter because they wanted to uprise in some way that black lives are more valuable than white life because it's the white life that are attacking the black life. No, there were also white slaves during the colonial, all of that history. Okay, but all life matters. So harmony. If we go down the path where we, in each of our movements, sense, are we in harmony? Not just our body and our mind, but are we in harmony with what is our path? The way we talk, the way we present how we look at the world and everything. If we have this, it's like when you set a piano, you follow a rhythm. You have this machine going tick tock, tick, or play the violin or whatever music instrument. You have this, So,
metronome.
And what? Sorry, Paul.
Metronome. I think they call it.
Yes. Okay, so you use that as that is how that is how we are as humans, saying, okay, what is the perfect balanced place for me where I'm mostly relaxed? Then I don't go say, well, I'm a proud white woman. I say I'm a proud human. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong by saying I'm a proud white woman, but why should I provoke? I would say I'm a proud. It's not. Don't take it personally. I'm just
Not
saying
provoking,
that.
it's defending. Because what you're talking
Yeah,
about, I
I
hate
get
to
that.
say it, is suicidal empathy. I don't want to say
Yes,
I'm a proud white person because I might offend that black person. The trouble is, white people are in our fertility were down. We're on the precipice of
yes, I
becoming a
know.
minority.
Yeah,
And you look at South Africa, what happens to a minority of white people in a mixed colored race.
yeah,
I don't see the blacks going, we're all the same. I mean, South Africa, they're killing farmers, they're killing this. There are some harsh realities to life.
I get it. I
And the
get it.
white race has done a lot of great things. It's not a Nazi to say it, but that's how they've got it. If you say anything proud about us, I mean, for Christ's sake, we're here. We're
Yeah,
here and we're as valid as anyone else.
yeah,
And it's rising up here. We've given so much empathy out there that now it's insane. Over here, we have young women defending the right of men, a lot of them perverts, not all of them, but a lot of them perverts, to go into toilets. You know what I mean? The women are basically destroying their own rights. The young women, and what they're
yes,
terrified of is it's not that they believe it, they're terrified of being called Islamophobic,
mm,
racist, anti-Semitic, all these bad words. So they've lost what's right or wrong. It's
yeah,
it's fashionable. I remember my daughter telling me her friends were going to, why haven't you put Black Lives Matter on your Instagram page? Really angry with her. Like she has to do it. Now to be Palestine, now to be something else. Telling her how to socially show what her emotions are,
yeah,
or what her feelings are. And this is how we're getting. There's a woman in I've been trying to get her on the show. She's in Cambridge, I think, and she's really speaking out against the woke. And she's the most popular lecturer they've had there in eons because she's talking about a balanced life and common sense. And she said the only people that are attacking her who want it gone are young white women who
yeah,
want to. This is a reality. There's
yeah.
something
And I'm
fucked up
not
with this,
surprised.
and we have
I,
to do it. And
yeah,
now I'm sick of apologizing, sick of not saying it. No, you know, this is
don't
what I am.
apologize.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I get
And
it. I
so it's
totally
just
get it.
and I think the other way, like if I meet someone from another culture, I want you to be different. I want you to have another language, other beliefs, other this.
Exactly.
That's why I want to interact with you. I don't want to
Yes,
go to another country to find out, oh, look, there's McDonald's, there's Kentucky Fried, there's this. Oh, we're all the same. It's like they just pick
yeah,
up the town and put it in front of you. I want difference.
yes,
I want to go to France and see French people. I don't want to go to
yes,
France and feel like I'm living in Sudan.
yeah, I get it.
I, I,
I totally agree. Let me just, I need to remember to talk about the Save Europe Act. Have you heard about that? Save Europe Act?
yeah.
Maybe
That's
you have.
Eva Vlade.
Landenbroek from the Netherlands. Yes.
Just before you mention that, I thought this. Oh, well,
Yeah.
I,
It's such an important initiative that she's doing
yeah,
there with other really brave people. So I just wanted to let you know, guys, because as an Australian, you can sign it too. And she was they were met when last Wednesday they wanted to deliver, I think 500 and
Oh, I
oh,
saw
I
500
this.
saw that
All
with
these,
the
all these.
they
weather.
were met.
Yeah, there's millions now. Millions of people have signed it to the European
Yes,
Union.
yes,
Yeah, I was just.
exactly.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I actually
She was
haven't.
prohibited or tried prohibited to deliver them to the European Parliament, and that
Yeah,
is
I know.
democracy in action. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but again, when what people are experiencing outside of themselves, they have a hard time acknowledging that that is true because they're gaslighted and they're all these psychological tricks that they're using in the mainstream media, the mass politician, the mass whatever, they're
yeah,
all using the same tricks. And again, then we're back to the war on the mind. And it
yeah.
Well,
is our own responsibility to know about ourselves.
Malue, Elon Musk posted this, and I think it's what Michael and you are pointing to. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Yeah, I've been watching this woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Henry Nowak was a perfect example of that.
This is, I think, what Mark. I've been saying, Malay, that I just like the whites to have equal rights.
Yeah.
That everyone's treated the same. Like, remember during the Black Lives Matter, we said, if you said all lives matter, oh, how dare you say all lives matter?
Yeah.
What, you're including what? White people? No, we were all humans. That was the point you were making. But it was. But you can see the operation. When you can't say all lives matter. No, there's some other group that matters more than all lives.
Yeah,
that was a bit of a tip off and so I don't believe that we actually have equality. We haven't had for some years. We've been moved off committees, like, even before COVID, before I became deplorable because of my my COVID policy views. I was already becoming deplorable because I had pale skin, heterosexual white male.
Yeah, right.
I was already moving deplorable for years, and I felt it in the institutions. They were who they were appointing, who they were, and so at this point, I'm just like, can't we all be equal?
Again it's a United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goal. It's a part of that. It's an old idea. Again, it's to fuck up with the mind. They've done it for centuries.
I was in the arts in Melbourne, in the theatre world, and suddenly all these incredible directors and other people who'd worked in Hollywood, Australians who'd been working there for 20, 30 years, who'd worked on everything, were turning up in Melbourne, all of them mature white males, all of them told by Hollywood, we don't want mature white males anymore.
Yeah.
Some of the most, like Bruce Beresford, other directors, suddenly we're being told and we were being told in the theatre world, they're actually coming out in the theatre and going, we no longer want the stories of mature white males. Your era is over. That was before COVID. It's been really happening. At some point, you have to defend that.
Yeah.
You can't just sit there hoping that they're suddenly going to wake up and change their mind once they realize they're white too. But there's, because you have to realize this is where we are. And I think now, like I was at a thing today and some woman was brought up, oh, it's the Zionists, oh, it's this. And I started challenging her. What evidence do you have of that? Oh, I just believe it. Okay, so you're peddling hate. Oh, you're not allowed to question me. I question everyone now. I'm quite happy to debate now, where before letting it go, because I realize as a country we've let everything go. Oh yeah, let it go. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Now we're in the shit. At some point, you have to start going, nah, that's bullshit, and call bullshit out. Yes. Call evil out. Call it all out. Call corruption out. That's what we have to do. Yeah,
the tolerance,
fixing nothing.
The tolerance has almost killed us.
Yeah, suicidal empathy. Paul says that you see it everywhere. Well, that's
on my Substack. Yeah, it's 2 hours. Yeah. I'm looking deplorable. Thank you. Yes, Malue, on my Substack, I am deplorable.
You're good-looking deplorable. She said.
I good-looking. Thank you. Because I am deplorable. I have now transitioned from being a professional medical practitioner to being a shit stirrer, professional shit stirrer, and I'm full-time deplorable now. So that's great. I'm glad.
That's awesome. Be proud. I am proud of you.
The other thing I would suggest you do, Malue, is get people to write, because if you go back in your social media feeds, you'll find a lot of your past stuff has been erased. Memory, it's just gone. The posts have been removed. And over here, we're urging people to write. I've got a book of essays that got published by a guy that's in the National Archives now. So and that's just about my experiences and what I saw on the road, and what I've seen on the road. And I'm starting another one now, but we're encouraging others. Paul should do one. This is because if it's in literature, if it's in writing, they
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
go through every book and re-edit it. And so it's basically fighting high tech with low tech.
yeah. I
And
get it.
and that's what I think we've got to do. You've got an amazing story. The freedom fighter in Denmark fighting in this this strange war where most people don't even know there is a war.
Yeah,
They just
that's true. That's true.
coincidentally die.
So the Danish freedom, I think that's on the note, the Danish freedom movement isn't existing anymore.
Wow.
So yeah, so we do it
Wow.
in different ways. We don't have an organization like that anymore.
Wow.
And I think again, it's a matter of it's a timing, and it's a matter of where humanity is as a whole, how
Yeah.
we dealing as individuals
Yeah.
with this, because there were attacks on us, and again, as you have experienced, Paul, I know you have too, Michael.
Yeah.
That it is the process of being attacked that is the punishment, and from that there is consequences, but all is good anyway, because otherwise it would be different. Yeah, and the universe always works in mysterious ways. It's always perfect, even though it doesn't suit
I'll give you an example of how the universe will work. This maybe wrap it up.
Yeah.
Kelly, we're in this little town, and Kelly took a picture of a poster she saw on a wall, and it was it was called the Lonely Men's Club, a way for lonely men to meet up. But I had no real details of where it was or who it was, and she was saying that would be a good story. 6 hours later, I'm in the bus. Kelly's at a butcher's, and a really old man comes up and says, "I think I saw your picture in a newspaper. I just wanted to say hello." And I'm talking to him. He actually did an interview. He is the one that set up the group.
Oh, beautiful.
So
Of
all
course.
those thousands of people in town, he doesn't
Yeah.
even know who I am, but he comes up to me,
Yeah.
and he just happened. And so we're going to see them tomorrow. Hopefully, they'll do a story. This
Wow.
is what I'm saying is like little gifts, like in the
Yes.
Hunger Games, where they drop gifts and stuff.
Yes.
These forms of coincidence just blow me away and give
Yeah.
you a sense you're on the right path,
Yeah.
even though the road is vague.
Synchronicity.
Yeah,
Exactly. And that's a
absolutely.
beautiful story. And life is filled with them if we just pay attention. Pay attention.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, since you like to be free, I'll send it to you after this. I'll send you
Thank
the
you.
song, and
Thank you.
we'll go out with it. But first, go out with the close. But is there anything you'd like to say before we leave, Malue?
I think we've had a lovely talk, and there's always stuff to say even more, but just pay attention. I would like to remind people to pay attention to what gives meaning to you as an individual human being. What is a meaningful life to you, and what would you be proud of bringing forth to your children and grandchildren? Yeah, I think that was it.
Oh, that's Kerry, right? That's right, Kerry. We met in Geraldton after Epic on the other side of Australia, man. Another synchronicity. Yourself, Paul.
Beautiful.
Anything to take us out of this epic conversation?
Yeah, well, it's great catching up with you, Malue. It's
Likewise.
been too long. We need to keep our eye on what's going on in Europe, because it's going crazy too.
Yeah.
But we're all sort of in the same fight. Nothing's changed. So we all win together or go down together. But we're in this for humanity. So
Yes.
Well, I'd rather go down with this mob than survive on my knees in their tribe.
Absolutely. But we're not going down. We're going up.
Okay, guys, we're going to go out. Thanks for a great show, Maludi. You're fantastic. We're going to go out. This is tomorrow's show. We're going to do the quiz show about sex robots. So we ask open-ended questions, and then people have to answer the questions online. So they're very open-ended. The questions are on Twitter if you want to look. But this is the thing, because one interesting thing, Malou, we are the first generation where the future is behind us.
Yes.
We are all struggling to catch up with it. So
and we're all a part of history.
Yeah, that's right.
172
tomorrow
A
night.
cup or 172 centimeters A cup. And each brand has a set of heads. They're usually identified either by a name or a number. This one is Stella. So once again,
Hey,
a
Stella.
doll is a construction set. So if I like this body, but I want a different head, I can choose a different one in our catalog from the same brand and just change it over. Just like
Oh.
this.
Can you do that? Can you do that, Malue?
I can try. Oh man. It hurts my neck to
Now
see
these
that.
are only now. You imagine these
Yeah.
robots in a couple of years.
No.
And that's it.
It's
Not
the
alive,
quiz
I
show
won't.
on the globe. It's the quiz show
Good night,
on
everybody.
the
Good night,
globe.
Malue. Good night, Paul.
It's the
See you
quiz
tomorrow for the
show
quiz show.
on the globe.
Oh, fuck! Is it only Monday night? It's the quiz show on the globe. It's the quiz show on the globe. It's the quiz show on the globe. Oh, fuck!
Is it only Monday night?
It's the quiz show on the globe. It's the quiz show on the globe. It's the quiz show on the globe. Oh, fuck!
Is it only Monday night?
His internet will lag and his prizes are crap. And I'm pretty sure he never took the fucking jab. But since you're all out of fuel because your government shafted you, where else can you go? So, roll up, ladies and gentlemen, and come on down to Cafe Locked Out, because
It's the quiz show on the globe. It's the quiz show on the globe. It's the quiz show on the globe. Oh, fuck!
Is it only Monday night?
come on, everybody, sing along!
It's the quiz show on the globe. It's the quiz show on the globe. It's the quiz show on the globe. Oh, fuck!
Is it really only Monday night?
Historically, we are the debris, forgotten faces, never more to be. Instead of legends fighting for something that had no guarantees, living ghosts, we chose to live and die as their worker bees. Why didn't we break out from their hide? Why didn't we follow